So today I finally decided to do a get ready with me and show you guys how I do my go-to makeup. It's nothing crazy. It's gotten really simple throughout the years. I've become very minimal, if you would even call this minimal. I typically use a headband to get my hair out of my face, but for the sake of the video and that way I don't look crazy, we're gonna use clips. I'm definitely prepping my skin, nothing crazy as well. We're using ginseng eye cream. This is perfect if you have dark circles. And then I'm gonna go in with the Estee Lauder, I wanna say it's a serum primer. I did get it as a sample. Oh, I'm showing you guys my lip. I have a bad habit of ripping my little dry skin off. Such a bad habit, I need to stop that. I go in with this primer. It's a makeup primer, a moisturizing primer. I don't know what it is, but it works wonders. I'm going to be using my Morphe M158 brush along with the eyebrow gel latte. This is my perfect shade for me. It gives me such a natural look. Again, nothing crazy. I only fill in the gaps. I've been in transition of doing my eyebrows two different ways, and I'm going back to doing them how I typically do them, which is this way, and I like it a little bit better. It just is to fill in the little gaps in my eyebrows, and I don't do anything crazy. I obviously go in and clean them in after. Forgive my damn camera quality. The focus was just going in and out. I need to reset my camera and try to fix what's going on here. Oh yeah, me realizing I got a good amount of brow gel on my hand. But anywho, we're gonna go in with my Got2b brow gel, and I really like this to a certain extent. It's not my favorite, but it's doable, but it gets the job done, okay? Like, I'm not mad at it. I'm transitioning again between two different ones, and it actually sets the brows really nice. I have really thick eyebrows. I don't know if you can say, like, if you can really tell, but my individual hair strand is thick itself. I go in with a separate spoolie and I just kind of make it look a little bit more neat and more put together because the brush and the bristles on that spoolie are pretty thick. And it's kind of hard to see the brush that I'm using, but if you know, you know. It is a Morphe by Ariel. Ariel? I want to say it's Ariel, the A19 brush. And I would show you the concealer I'm using, but if you're an OG Morphe user, you know that this specific concealer is discontinued and there's no point in me sharing it if you can no longer get it. But this brush and the brushes he created overall are amazing. I do use both sides. I kind of stamp on the product and line my brow and then just kind of buff it out with the other end. Obviously, we got to do the same thing to the other brow. After I cleaned up all my eyebrows, like if I have more than two, right? I go in with the eye primer. This Juvia's one is amazing. A little bit goes a very long way. I use a tiny bit and you can see how well it spreads. I unfortunately have to set my eyelids like this because they're very oily, and if I don't, they start creasing and they look nasty and it's just a hot mess. So I'm gonna go in with my Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation. This is the old one. I have not upgraded myself to the new one because I don't know what to expect. I am using a fluffy brush by Morphe. Unfortunately, that one came in a set, so I can't even tell you which one I'm using, but any fluffy brush would work. I even have to do this when I do my eyeshadow, because if I don't, again, it looks crusty, a hot mess, and it starts creasing. It's ugly. And then moving on, I'm going to be using the Morphe and Ariel A16 brush to do my eyeliner along with this Juvia's Place palette, and I do use the darker brown shades. I do not use a liquid or gel eyeliner anymore. I use eyeshadow, specifically brown ones, because I feel like they make my brown eyes stand out a little bit better, in my crazy opinion. And the brush is very precise. It doesn't fluff up. I know that there's some that if you use a certain way or you use powder with them, they tend to expand and they lose the very defined point that they have. And this brush is just elite. Again, he did an amazing job with these brushes. And before you guys start judging my application, just know that I go back and clean the edges with concealer to make them look a little bit more sharp, because I know, girl, I know. And this is how I typically measure to make sure the line matches with the bottom waterline. If you have never tried a Shiseido eyelash curler, you need to. They're amazing. In my opinion, I've always loved Shiseido everything, and this eyelash curler is just everything. Everything. It gets all the hairs. Then I use this L'Oreal mascara. I had it forever and it's always been my go-to. I love this one specifically to get it on the root of my eyelash to make sure it stays. And I have to use waterproof because if I don't, they start going straight down. I also use this little tool to help separate them because they'll tend to clump up. And I don't like to use a spoolie because then it kind of removes product. Afterwards, I go in with the Lash Paradise. I love me some L'Oreal mascaras. They're very amazing in my opinion. That's like a weird combo I just used. This one I do more on the ends of it to kind of fluff them up. The brushes on them just work very well with my specific eyelash. I have a weird one overall. Then I go again with the same little tool to help separate them so they're not clumpy and they look a little bit more separated and cute and natural. We're going to start by prepping the face with the Liquid Poreless Primer by e.l.f. Me and my face love this. It works really good and it's very lightweight in my opinion. I tend to get very dry lips during this process, so let's apply some Vaseline chapstick. I'm going to be using the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk in the shade 6. And I will be applying it with a Morphe M428 brush or 428 brush, whatever you want to call it. This is my summer shade, and I love using this brush just to strictly apply it to make sure I get an even coat throughout the face. And I just do dabbing motions to make sure everything's on right. Specifically for me, this application works the best. I do not blend it out with this. I do go in with a separate brush, Morphe as well, you know, to blend it out. And I do this dabbing motion throughout the whole face. And again, I do use a brush to blend out my foundation. I do not use a beauty blender. I prefer the M439 brush by Morphe because it's fluffy, but it's not too dense and it gets the job done. And again, I do more dabbing motions. I do not like a beauty blender, in my opinion, not for this foundation, but if that's what you like, go ahead and use what works best for you. For concealer, I know that it's backwards. I'm going to be using my Morphe C2.15. That is the shade. That is the shade color. I'm obsessed with this one, but I'm open to try different ones. So if you have a really good one, please let me know. I am also using that same brush I used to spread out my foundation. I just use it more for application for the concealer and foundation, and it works really good. It's just to help distribute the product a little bit more even. And then I go in with my Morphe again brush, and it's from the Elite series. It's the E20 brush, but that series has been discontinued. It was discontinued when I was working there. Unfortunately, they were one of the best brushes they had, but you know. And to set my face, I'm going to be using my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I was going to say translation. Along with the Jaclyn Hill by Morphe, or Morphe by Jaclyn Hill JH7 brush. I love this little brush because it's very little. It's precise, and I don't use a lot, and you can tell that I'm applying it to my entire face, but I do put a little bit more under my eye just to kind of help set that concealer a little bit more. It's nothing crazy. It's a very light amount. Nothing crazy. Very minimal. Then to more bronze or contour, I'm going to be using my Patrick Ta She Sculpted. I love this shade. I just love Patrick Ta along with the brush. It is amazing. That brush is very precise, and it gives you like a very sculpted look to the cheekbone. I love it. I don't really use a cream. It just really depends. I love the powder, but I love Patrick Ta. And now using Patrick Ta's Precision Dual Brush. I use this for my nose contour. You can use this for whatever you like. Not gonna lie, I need a little bit of practice, and it kind of throws me off on this specific side because I feel like it doesn't come out straight. And I usually like to use my Brittany Bare nose contouring kit that I got from Morphe years ago when I used to work there, but I love the way that this is just so subtle. But I do need to work on my precision. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. And of course, Patrick Ta She's Blushed. I love this shade. One, because I feel like my undertone whenever I do blush, this is exactly what it looks like, and it just looks so beautiful, so seamless. And I like to build my product on my face. I don't like such a harsh application. This is probably why I love his product so much, because you can build it. And then to completely set my face, I like this Hourglass translucent powder. It has like this nice little shimmer, but it's so fine to the point where it kind of looks like it blurs. As you can see, I feel like it just goes in and finishes everything off so smoothly that it doesn't look cakey. It just looks like a very nice velvet like finish overall. It's just so beautiful. This powder is just it. And in case you guys haven't noticed, I am using the same brush I used to apply my Laura Mercier translucent powder because of the precision. And in case I did kind of skip on mentioning the brush I was using for my blush application, it is the Morphe brush. It's the M403 brush. I do alternate between the angle brush and that brush. It just really depends on my mood that day. So, Now moving on to lashes, I'm using these that I got from Shane. I've been liking more of a natural look, and yes, I do use hair bonding glue. Why? I got this tip from a drag queen once and I just never went back, and they work so good. They don't tear off my lashes. I do apply them under my lash, as you can tell, and I did kind of double stack them. I got this lash crimper. It's not even a crimper, it's a mini eyelash curler, and I use them more to kind of secure my eyelashes and so they can kind of stick without pinching them with my specific fingers. But for the lips, I'm going to be using So Rare by Juvia's Place. It's such a beautiful color, nothing too crazy. And I'm going to be using that same Patrick Ta blush, but the cream, to apply it on the center of my lips to give it more of a lip combo kind of vibe. I am using the cream part of the blush for the center of my lips just to give it a nice little lift. There's no rule in makeup saying what you can and cannot use for what, so have fun, be creative. And now I'm gonna go off camera, do my eyeliner. Wait right here, I'll be right back. Now I'm going to be setting my face with Rare Beauty's setting spray. This is such a beautiful spray. It leaves such a dewy finish, and I love to set it with my damp beauty blender. I know it's dirty, it's more stained. I've tried to wash it, I know, but it gets the job done, and it just leaves it very like silky, very beautiful. Such a beautiful glow. And I'm going to be finishing with the Tahiti highlighter by Kylie Cosmetics, and I'm going to be using the JH39 brush by Jacqueline and Morphe, and it's just to give my nose like a little bit of a glow, nothing crazy. It is more on the peachy pink golden side of a highlighter, so it's more to be more seamless, I would say, but that's pretty much it.